Hello, chaps. Sorry, I put the thing up, and I usually like go get a drink and stuff and come and sit down just to give it some time to breathe. But I spontaneously decided to make a hot chocolate and stuff, so it took a little bit longer. How are we all? Hello, Ivy. Hello, Raven. Helen. How are we? Ooh, Ivy, we're being feisty today, aren't we? Right. So today we are going to play some more Stanley Parables. Let me move my mic a bit closer. That's better. Right. We're going to play more Stanley Parables. And then probably something else later this evening, since Dinkle's not about. I may as well go into the 7 o'clock sort of prime time. Whether it's Helldivers or I need to start Space Marine 2, because that was gifted to me by the lovely Ashura. Yeah, so we'll see where the afternoon takes us. It's very chilly. I felt the cold today. This has been the first day I felt the cold. Right, let's start up Stanley. I don't know how, like, I don't know when you know you've won Stanley Parables or finished Stanley Parables. Like, there's just so many different, like, endings. So, how do we know when we're done? I am unsure. Oh, last time it told us to select whatever time we liked. It rewarded us because we've been selecting the correct time and spending the time to do so. So the game was very delighted. So it said that this time we can pick whatever time we like. But I thought we will continue our correct time. 5:25 p.m. Your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 5:25 p.m. is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 5:25 p.m. Inaccurate, accurate. Well, it's 5:26 now, so it's slightly inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data, said Google. I wish we had more soldiers. Sliders, sorry, soldiers. But we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent a new slider to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yes. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Okay. This game is so fourth wall breaking and weird. I don't know what's real anymore. This menu screen might not even be real. We might already be in the game. Okay. Begin the game. So I know the only obvious route we haven't been down, I think, because I've kind of lost track a little bit, is
the story of a man named Stanley.
The new content door.
Stanley worked for a company in a big
We'll let the intro play out for those who haven't seen it.
Employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Right, so for those who don't know, this is sort of like repetitive storytelling, but it's very fourth wall breaking. It feels very like Portal, I suppose. How you have like the GLaDOS and that following you around, sort of giving you the story. We have the narrator. We've had fourth wall breaks all over the place. I mean, to the point that it's like 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th wall breaks. The narrator has got confused himself. He's restarted the game for us and things like that. It's very strange. And there's different endings. Oh, certain things are considered an ending. We've had like confusion ending. We've had the true ending where you just listen to the narrator and do what he says. We did that fairly early on, actually. But then there's like, yeah, there's all sorts of endings basically.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There you go. So it's very much like a DM who wants you to play their D&D game, and if you're familiar with that concept, and they kind of have to railroad you, and then it gets upset when you don't do what he says. So this door is new. Since we've been playing the game, it's popped up and new, and it's obviously very tempting because it's in this corridor of vision. It's like Naughty Dog Yellow, if you know what that is, how it guides you. I think this is the only way we can go right now, because we've done, well, as far as I know, we've done a lot of the other options. So we're going to head off this way.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Right. We've even been transported into other games. So, funnily enough, Firewatch was one of them, which is what we've played on stream here as well. So that was quite a shock to be back in that game.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
God. Okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or...
Oh, there we
here
go.
we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I like how the fact that the narrator seems to be unaware what the content
I
is.
have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Have I ever said how I hate the word content? Okay.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Jumps remaining 36. Oh, we... Okay, so normally you can't jump. This is normal. Tapping space, nothing happening. The new content is where we're able to jump in this space. Oh my god. Game-breaking mechanics. I feel remiss to not check this way first.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
So let's check down the corridor first, and then we will do the... Oh, it's the lift again. Okay, now let's finish jumping first. Yep. This might take a moment. Give me a second. Still jumping. How's everyone doing? Is this thrilling gameplay that you came to watch? It's funny because jump was probably the first game mechanic other than left and right when it came to making games. Oh. Okay, we can only jump a certain amount of times. Right. Love that.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I don't like lifts. I take steps to avoid them. Joke. Okay, blue carpet, lovely. Okay. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend
that's
to
true
phone
as
these
well.
people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sure. Oh. Oh. Wait a minute. This is not the same. Can we jump now? No.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Let's just check up here first. Okay. So, remember, we can also go right there.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What? Where are we now? Skyrim?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Cute house, though. Oh, look at the light. Yes. One of these houses, please. Oh.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013?
Hello,
when the
Nightwolf.
game originally launched. Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
I suppose as a knight you should be Sir Wolf. So this is down the new content door. The new content door allowed us to jump in a circle 36 times before it disabled it, and that was it. And now the narrator is very unhappy about the re-release of Stanley Parables as a deluxe edition. So we're now remembering the original opening or the original release of the Stanley Parables. There's its Steam page. 2013, when the Stanley Parable was released. My first kiss, my first card, the release of Stanley Parables. Postcards. The original remake. Good times. I mean, it's the amount it's making a commentary on the games market today is quite astounding. Okay, and that's the good ending screenshot. Did it? Oh. Isn't that like Mr. Krabs keeping his first dollar earned? Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. I'm going to have to look at the Steam page to see if these are there. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. I like this building, though. Work in progress. British Academy Awards, Games Innovation, Debut Game, Story. New video game, releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Oh, there's dead Stanley. We got that ending quite quickly as well. Oh. In loving memory of little Stanley. And it's a picture of a hamster. Aww. I wonder if that was a developer's pet or something. Oh, we can't even sit on the bench. Okay. Oh, God.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I can't believe they've made a game out of making a game. There's a Minecraft world. The two doors, the first choice. Person of the year. I'm guessing that's Stanley. There he is. There's Stanley and the other lady. The only character models we've seen. Oh, there's some developer pictures. That's cool. Right, I don't want to step through that door. I want to look down here. We can't get down here, so let's move on. More memories. Memories upon memories. Got the two coloured doors. Hello, Mother Trucker. No D&D tonight. Our friend is having various medical issues, and yeah. We don't want to stress them out, so we're doing this instead. They have a lot on their plate, so and D&D can be quite a lot in general, to be honest. Right. Yeah, just so you know, Mother Trucker, we went down the new content door, and it wasn't much. And now the narrator's sad about the new content and is now reminiscing about how good the game used to be. So this is
Here's
his
another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
carpet textures. Well, I think... I guess we go... Oh no, that opened. Can no longer jump, so that's out the question. Hey. Oh, it's a leaf. I thought it was a UFO. Whoops. I guess we'll go pop and...
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
The narrator seems to be on the same journey as us now. He's not sort of an overlord. Oh. We get into the negative side of games development.
God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, God.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Yeah, we seem to be on this journey together now. I mean, he's still in sort of control, should we say, but he's not really asserting control. We're now on, like, memory lane together. Oh, it's a shame we can't read the other ones. I wonder if that was a real comment and they've just used it.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Nah, they're just, like... pro gamers who just play Call of Duty and don't know what real gaming's about.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I don't want to use a skip button. He's got a great voice.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time
He sounds
everything
like
all
me
at once.
trying to be
So,
deep.
now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be.
This is me trying to get my
Only
thoughts
thing
straight
there
during
is,
an
how many
argument.
billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you,
Oh,
and
he's gonna-
therefore by
he is
becoming it
repeating now.
is, so on and so forth, until inevitably.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say
I'm sorry,
it was
we are
perhaps
listening
less
to
of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing,
I should
are you
really-
not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time
Actually, it's
a
really hard to
monument
talk over him,
every
'cause-
person you've ever been, making every
yeah, I
choice
should
to
really,
which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and
read
yet
more
timeless
audiobooks.
thought? Or rather, do all of the choices
But,
you've ever made,
like,
in fact,
because
make
I watch
you
Critical
more
Role and
not
there's,
this
like,
kind
what,
of
4
person, and in
hours
fact
of
do the very opposite.
material
You see,
each-
it could in fact be
each
both of these
session.
things at once. That you are
It
both
just
making
eats up all your
choices
extra
and not making choices,
consumption
and that
time,
they are
should we
both
say.
affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them.
Alright, we're gonna have to press
first,
this.
I was leaning towards well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better
we can talk Crit Roll once I don't have this rambling narrator in my ear.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through
Oh.
is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means,
door
but it's,
has gone.
well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, I know.
Where did the door go?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
There was.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall?
There's
Not
an air vent.
any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's
Are we going to
completely
end up in
gone.
like some sort of
I've looked
post-apocalyptic
at it
place?
from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing?
I think
Me
it's been
just
longer than a
talking?
week.
But it isn't, Stanley.
It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I...
Because I... Oh, I think we're in, but...
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe
Hello,
it
Rubber
for
Ducky.
you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest...
Oh no, is the narrator dead? Okay, this game is so close to being a horror game, it's horrible. Like this ominous air vent up there. Smoke alarm. Even the clock's fallen off the wall. What was that? If we end up in The Last of Us, I swear. I will turn this game around.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny.
Oh.
It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words of their...
As much as I want to hear his entire rants, and if I was playing this on my own, I would have just let it play out each time until I sort of noticed a loop or something. Yeah. The comedic effect of cutting him off is funny.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is
Oh.
never the end, is 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 never the end.
Let's leave that one quickly. Is the place degrading even more? Yes. I'm surprised there isn't like greenery all over the place yet. Oh, Jesus. So yeah, that leak continued and weakened the structure. The greenery is setting in. No parkouring up here. Oh, is that something moving? Is the narrator still around? Oh, there we go. I knew that would happen at some point. It's quite nice, though. Oh, God. Nuclear apocalypse, maybe? This is what I mean about it being like a hair's breadth away from being a horror movie or a horror story game, whatever. Let's go. Case in point. No, thank you. Oh. Oh. The button. Oh, hello. Are we going to find that it was Earth all along? Hello? Oh, look at that. I must be getting famous. I've got bots already. That was quick. Farewell. Oh, there we go. That was that ending. Okay, that was cool. Scary and cool. Right. Let's see if there's anything obviously new, but I can't think of where else we
All of his
could go.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. New content. Well.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Did notice there was more tracks on this. Thank you, narrator.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Wow. A whole
Yes,
fresh
you see,
look.
isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay. He seems,
Calling it the Stanley Parable
positive.
2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic
Isn't that the shining
statement
carpet?
right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress,
Or, like,
and
styled.
innovation, and long-term franchising potential.
Okay. New textures, new lighting, new doors, glass doors. These feel very, early 2000s glass in games. It's not an apple, it's a bird. New content is out. Part 2 is in. Cool red section of the chart. 2 doors. They're back. Stanley Parables 2. More TSP, better TSP. Win-win. Okay. Oh yeah. It did say the fern would be important later on. Whether it actually is, I don't know. We haven't seen it since. Different logo designs. In different styles of game. Oh. I suppose that is the Stanley Parable too.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around
Who
them.
took my red marker?
It'll all work
Me.
itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity, Doom, Aladdin, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. I liked Return of Jafar as a kid. Well, at least I remember liking it. I don't think I've seen it for many, many moons. To the show floor. Ah, okay. New features. Can I sit in a seat? Nope. Nope. Surely Stanley can sit in the Stanley Parable seat. Oh, we're going off piece. Yeah, I think once we've played a few rounds of this, we'll jump into a different game, probably a multiplayer, brainless game.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Oh, okay. Let's go this way. Hear your name in the game. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Is this gonna, well, not dox, but has it, where would it get my name from? Steam. Is my name in Steam? Or is that just my email? No screenshots. A whole new office. No screenshots. If we take a Steam screenshot, does it not come up? Let's try it. Why is that making the old interference sound? Hang on. I'm just going to check my Steam screenshots to see if that came out. Oh, it did. Okay. Didn't know if they had various other like fuckery they could do. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game, the jump circle we've played, infinite hole. Right, that's just Portal, isn't it? Chairs. Stanley looks pretty scary. The Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. It's a bucket. There's more. Infinite hole. Where do we go first? There's always a merch stand. Right, should we go to the button that says the player's name, the jump circle, the infinite hole, or the reassurance bucket? And then there's this other door here. I'm intrigued about the button myself. The bucket, the button. Okay, got one for bucket, one for button. Next person says we'll go to that. I imagine it'll let us experience it all. I don't think it will... oh god, there we go, the button. Okay, I imagine we get to see them all. Oh, there's another sneaky way there, actually. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button,
Too big.
which speaks the
Too small.
name of the
Just right.
person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Is it? Is it, though? Surely they didn't make him read, like, all the names? Because this is before AI, so it's not like they're just... The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Try it here. Oh,
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath,
Okay.
clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh,
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If
yes.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
Okay, Jim will do that.
Jim.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you
It says
see.
my name.
What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The
It was
button
me.
described you. Do it again, do it again.
Oh, God, okay.
Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
It is a good size button.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Oh. Jim misses his button. Jim is sad. Is it bad that I like orange carpet? I think that looks good. Right, where are we?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Each to their own. I guess you don't agree then. Let's not go down this little sneaky door. Is that two different? What two? That two? I don't think so. Okay, let's go. I think the bucket of reassurance is towards the end. Let's go this way for now. Free new easy achievement. Oh god. Jump circle. This map. Yep. Free achievement. The button that says the name of the player playing the game. Merch settings world champion. Okay. The Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. Office decorations. Epilogue. Collectibles. Infinite hole. Exit. Where is the exit? Right, the exit's over there. We don't want the exit. We want to experience everything this deluxe edition, or sorry, second edition has to offer. Wait, which one's this? That's new. Oh, collectibles. Okay. On the photo bucket. Red 2s on white. There is like taped on 2 there. The photo backdrop. Oh, there. Oh, there. Okay. Yes, there is. Just a little guy, and I... Huh. We'll come back to that. Let's go to the collectibles. I wonder if there's a pop figure of Stanley. Collect them all. Oh my god.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Wow. That's horrible. Again, we're a hair's breadth away from being a horror game. This game's dumb. Oh. Oh, okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I think the worst for that was the original Assassin's Creed and all the little flags you had to collect around the place, and there was no idea of tracking them on a map or even how many you needed, I think. Ugh, I remember that just being horrible. Get it here. Easy achievement. Wait a minute. Is this like getting offered sweets out the back of a van or something?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay. I feel like this is a slight trick. Look at the heat sinks on this thing.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Fine. Oh yeah, the feathers in 2. I mean, Assassin's Creed collectibles were always a bit of a pain. Because they tried to make them a bit more interesting in 3, if I remember. Like there was the pages that would like float through a path, and you had to just chase them down. But collecting.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
What's this? Oh, the infinite hole. Distant space-time, distant past, distant future, falling, hold like, okay. Rim, surrounding area, depth. Hole, depth, space, science, more educational use, falling, infinity, more hole. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
But then how do we get out if we want to experience the other things? At least the songs in Assassin's Creed 4 gave you something to listen to. Oh yeah, I forgot about them. I think Black Flag was the last Assassin's Creed I played. Oh no, I did give... which one's the Greek one? With Cassandra. Gave that one a go, but that's the first of the new style Assassin's Creed. Did not like it. Okay, well, I guess we'll just try the whole.
You see, isn't it wonderful?
It's
One
like
of my
Alice in
more
Wonderland.
ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Is it not
Maybe
really
do it on the
infinite?
sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I think he's lying.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of
there
the
we go.
hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
Oh.
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Ow.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Don't gaslight me.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why
No.
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Right. Let's just give it a moment, see if he has anything else to say. Okay.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is
okay,
that
maybe.
you like holes too much. Not normal.
I beg your pardon?
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
It
I
did.
couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
See? He's understanding my curiosity now.
Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite,
but it's barely even a hole at this point.
More of a
It's
ditch.
more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Aggressive divot.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's not working.
Is the, teleport button not working? You
No.
sure?
Yeah, pretty
Well,
sure.
I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just
I
a
can't
moment
jump
ago.
either, so...
Still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
You
Take
can't
care,
live
Stanley.
without me.
I hope
You
and
need
the
me.
hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
You need me. Why? It was just quickly turns into horror. Uh-oh. Is this good or bad? I don't know if I want to be in your deep hole anymore. Change perspective. Oh. Ugh. Farewell. Wait, where's G? This is mad. Change your reality?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
Let's choose one we like first. Okay, let's change our reality. Oh, that's horrible. That's better. Puppies! Yeah, there we go. Change yourself. Oh. Q. Oh. This game is mad.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
Ugh.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up
to keep you really, truly focused on the hole. From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
I mean, he says he'd be thrilled and enjoy every moment of it, but we've already experienced time isolated with him. Oh, I guess that's an ending. Ah, that's cool. Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay, cool. Well, let's try the jump circle, even though we've experienced it once before. Here it is. Oh my goodness.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh, I didn't know that was like my one allocation of jumps. Or 36 allocation. I want to jump. Please. Jump. Fine. We did that. There's that random door off to the right here. We'll just have a little look behind the scenes.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Stepnies. Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Oh.
Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, it is.
Fair enough.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Okay. The amount of secrets that this game must have. Okay, that's that one. That's that one. There's that little door over there. Hello. This is going towards the bucket. The mostly infinite hole. Setting well. Alright, fine. Alright, so let's go towards... This is a bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
My God.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, well,
I
thank
think
you.
that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I leave with the bucket?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Okay. I guess we'll try the exit. There was still that room up there that wasn't open. The settings thing. Can't see if the door's open or not. It's not. Well, I guess we'll head out with the bucket. You'll never know. Oh. I went to the convention and all I got was this bucket.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, I think so. Is there a pause menu with extra settings now? Resume the game, begin the game, settings. Don't think so. That's all normal. Ooh, it's like a cool auditorium. Now, if we don't play Beyblade in here, I don't know what we'd use it
So,
for.
Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Oh.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and
That's not a
integrity
sequel,
of the
then, is it?
original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Maybe like Hyper Deluxe, that might work.
Go ahead. Take a look.
Wow, okay. Where are we now? Was that an ending?
This
Click
is
to
the
oh
story
god.
of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building
got
where
balloons.
he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
So I'm basically
Although
making a
others
new
might
game
have
as we play
considered
through it.
soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So it's games like this that I would love to see, like the path trees, because like you think of Telltale games and like their choice options and stuff. A lot of them are illusion of choice. Yes, lines will be delivered differently, but that's kind of about it. The action will still like happen the same way. Games like this, I would love to see the actual path tree of, you know, the different choices.
All of his co-workers were gone.
But
What could it
saying
mean?
that, it's
Stanley
also
decided to go to the meeting room.
kind of
Perhaps
an
he had
illusion
simply
of
missed a
choice
memo.
in that if you take all the paths, you'll probably end up in newer bits like this. But you had to take those choices first, so technically it is still technically linear. I wonder how he's incorporated his
Stanley
new
felt the
features.
bucket calling to him,
The bucket.
begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Did I miss it? Oh, there's the bucket. I did miss it.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Okay. I was too busy rambling about rubbish.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So, like now, for example, does it change the entirety of these choices if I start going to the right or to the left or whatever?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Well, I know that. I didn't need a bucket to tell me that. Look how blue it is.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
This is so mad.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
We've got to just keep going and figure out what's going on.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Until he didn't. It's
No,
amazing.
stop!
Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
I'm sorry.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
It's so dark. God, we've got a presentation on what a bucket is.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
What? Talk about railroading.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I mean, a 3D printed bucket would still be a bucket, right? But is that me admitting it's a bucket?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes, it's a bucket for fuel.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage
when
to
it is
screw
a
it up?
bucket, a bucket. Because, for
Absolutely
example, the fuel
incredible.
tanker that holds
Let's just
liquid,
move
so
on to the
like a
next
bucket
one.
does. It's just got extra features.
Is this a bucket?
Okay, it's not a conventional bucket.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
What? What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I don't know anymore if that last thing was a bucket. Yes.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
I mean, the bucket... Is the bucket the negative space that holds the water? Or holds the content? Hmm.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What
Always
is a
were.
bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a
Are we
bucket
just
is?
buckets of blood?
Am I a bucket?
Buckets
Stanley,
of organs?
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was
You're a
all I
bucket.
ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that.
The
I'm
word
sorry.
bucket doesn't
I'm
mean
going to
anything to me
erase
anymore.
all buckets
I've said
from
it too
the
much.
game
And,
entirely. Okay, here we go.
oh, okay. Bucket ending, I
What
guess?
happened? Is
Oh.
everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, Was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So,
True.
tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
I suppose that's what it means when it says games are buckets of fun. Oh, this game is mad. But yeah, going back to Critical Role. Actually, we'll talk about D&D afterwards. We'll have a little chat.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I'll go to the meeting room.
Stanley
Maybe I missed a
decided
memo.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do we take the bucket with us this time?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Yep.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the
we'll do
lounge was simply the
this
place
next
to be. And
bucket
here it
run.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How in snow? Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Then we'll have a little chat about D&D, and then we'll find another game to actually play.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
We'll go up
The
this way.
cargo lift, yes. Go good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride
Wait.
the lift all the way to the top.
That wasn't
There's
like that
something
before.
up there I need
Oh, it's a
you to do.
collectible.
Stanley did not question why or how this
There's a
bucket was
collectible down
speaking to
there.
him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But
Didn't get
Stanley
to that,
chose
though.
not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him,
So we can't
and he
jump.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Right. We went that way, didn't we? So
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
am I about to marry a bucket?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, there he is. I said there he is. Whoops. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press I to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press L to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
The fact that it's telling us to press buttons, we are basically Stanley. For example, press M to go back to work. Or press M, Stanley.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley?
Yes?
Can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press L for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press B to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press X to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press K to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press C to go home. To work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
This is how cults start.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. No. Right. Let's figure out a different game to play. Did it kick the bucket? I don't think so. I think we're now in the buckets world. But we'll stop there. I do need to make food at some point. But yes, oh god. The sequel is now paused. We'll pop back here. They basically had to design 2 games so far. Quit to desktop. We'll put that on the... love and peace, chaps. Catch you later.